Hello and welcome to OGTV News at 2. I am Okpeyemi Adewumi. Remember, you can watch us live on all those platforms, Apple, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or send us an email, info@ogtv.com.ng. Ogun State Governor Prince Dr. Abeokuta has approved the engagement of 3,000 teachers into full employment under the state civil service. Out of the figure, 1,000 from Ogun Teach interns are to be immediately absorbed into the state civil service as permanent teachers. Governor Abeokuta stated this at the 2023 World Teachers' Day celebration in Abeokuta. He said the remaining 2,000 were approved as teach interns. Ogun State government has solicited partnership with the United States of America in developing critical sectors of the state economy. The state governor, Prince Dr. Abeokuta, expressed this when he received the American Consul General to Nigeria, Mr. Will Stevens, who led a 5-man delegation on a courtesy call to his office. Noted that the state considers the United States as a progressive partner in the areas of economy, good governance, security, climate change, and human capital development interest. Speaking in an interview after the closed-door meeting with the governor, the Consul General said their discussions centered on security and health.
Sure. As the U.S. Consul General, it's my job to promote U.S. trade and investment here in the southern part of Nigeria. And I had a great conversation with the governor about the incredible investments that U.S. companies are already making in this state, as well as opportunities for more increased U.S. trade and investment. We also talked about the tech sector. I think there's incredible opportunities right now to find jobs and opportunities for Nigerian youth to participate in the tech sector. We've seen an explosion of growth and investment in that sector throughout Nigeria, particularly here in the southwest.
Noted that health remains the #1 investment in Nigeria, as the U.S. government is in the health sector to help Nigeria reach its goals of ending the HIV/AIDS epidemic in the country. The United States government says it is excited about the growth of the Nigerian democracy, which is the biggest in Africa. U.S. Consul General Will Stevens, who expressed this in Abeokuta, also said African nations need to learn from Nigerians' democratic values. Mr. Stevens, who also expressed worries over waste generation and management, and joined Nigerian youths to find a lasting solution which would give room for creation of wealth from waste. Fowora Adison has more.
Abeokuta Windows on America is all about capacity building and grooming the youth for leadership and creative thinking, particularly in wealth creation from waste, taking a cue from advanced societies. Students from selected schools in Abeokuta were exposed to creative thinking and capacity development on how things are done and great results achieved elsewhere, particularly in the United States of America. Aside this, much attention was paid to recycling waste to wealth, challenges and development of innovation that could lead to generating decent livelihood from waste to wealth idea.
Your indomitable desire to be better. I've never been in a place where people are so committed to bettering themselves.
Mr. Will Stevens had earlier commended Nigeria in the U.S. has taken the lead, as 5 out of 9 unicorn startups in the U.S. belong to Nigerians, while commending former President Olusegun Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari for not holding to power beyond their tenure, as in the case with some African leaders. Some of the participants speak.
This program has opened my eyes to business, like it has opened my eyes to how to make money, how to solve people's problems, and how to impact to the world.
I've learned a lot of things about how to be a successful entrepreneur and how to be a good citizen of my country. I also learned a lot of business opportunities here and how to improve my skills and talents.
And I learned how to face difficulties, and they also told us that problems are not actually problems, but they're actually opportunities.
No doubt capacity building begins when one could see what others have not seen. Adefowora Adesanwo, OGTV News.
In fulfillment of his promise to implement the payment of incremental salary of the 2021 September promotion in September, the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dr. Abeokuta, has commenced the payment of the new salary to beneficiaries. A statement by the State Head of Service, Mr. Kolawole Fagbon, recalls that 2021 and 2022 promotion letters were released to deserving civil public servants of the state in August 2023 with the assurance that implementation of 2021 would take effect from September, while that of 2022 is from December. While the implementation of 2022 promotion is being expected in December, the state government has also embarked on various people-oriented policies and programs, some of which are pivotal to the welfare and motivation of workers, while others are directed towards providing succor for the petrol subsidy removal by the federal government. These include the renewal of the state public service via appointment of key personnel, allocation of official vehicles of government officials, approval of site and service for civil public servants, payment of hazard allowance to the health workers, payment of peculiar allowance to deserving workers, and release of compressed natural gas bus to workers. Others include payment of 10,000 naira cash palliative for public servants for a period of 3 months, approval of consolidated legislative salary structure for Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, various training initiatives for middle and management level officers, constitution of various committees to develop an induction, orientation manual, review of public service rules and the financial regulations approval to replace top-level officers retiring from the public civil service at entry levels, among others. Equally, government has effected implementation of the minimum pension of 10,000 naira to both the state and local government pensioners, inauguration of a committee on pension consequential adjustment to review upward the pensioners' monthly pension across board to align with the economic reality, payment of monthly pension to 15,496 states pensioners as at when due, upward review of the quarterly release of gratuity from 600 to 1 billion naira, distribution of palliatives to citizens of the state, including state pensioners, commencement of direct payment of 10,000 naira palliative from July 2023 to state pensioners and individual approvals of fund for pensioners with urgent medical needs or surgery. With the aim to bring succor to vulnerable households, a convergence of representatives of the people of Abeokuta South local government area of Ogun State, which included the community development associations, the market associations, as well as the leadership of the joint national associations of persons with disabilities among concerned stakeholders, have benefited from the immediate palliative plans. The distribution was carried out at Abeokuta South Local Government Secretariat, Ake Abeokuta. Bolaji Samson, who witnessed the distribution, completes the reports.
As part of the culture of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration to constantly dialogue with Nigerians, as the welfare and security is topmost in the renewed hope agenda of his government, religious leaders, market women, community development associations, the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, amongst others, in Abeokuta South local government, have benefited from the immediate palliative plans in the state. A Chairman, Abeokuta South Local Government, Honorable Omolaja Majekodumi, stressed that the beneficiaries of the reliefs are for residents of the Abeokuta South Local Government, irrespective of their ethnic, religious, and political affiliation.
Sharing the palliative for our people in Abeokuta South Local Government, for the benefits of our people in Abeokuta South Local Government, from the federal government, state government, to local government. We have CDC, Hausa community, Igbo community, Aketa. They are here today to get their own palliative.
It was noted that the distribution was done per polling unit to cover the entire polling stations in the state under the supervision of a central working committee.
We thank them for giving us palliative. We have received our own, which I am the chairman. I have shared it for all the people that need it. And we consider that poor people, as they direct us to give poor people, and we give all the Hausa community in Abeokuta South.
My thanksgiving to Mr. President for remembering the Igbos in Abeokuta South local government. We are praying that God Almighty will sustain this government.
Beneficiaries thanked the presidency for being a listening leader as he fulfilled his vows to put Nigerians at heart of his policy and program.
We want to use this forum to express gratitude to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Besides that, we also express our gratitude to the Governor of Ogun State, the amiable Governor, His Excellency Dapo Abiodun, and by extension to the local government chairman of Abeokuta South, the person of Chief Majekodumi, for making sure that the instruction of the government was taken to the grassroots.
The distribution of the palliative materials touched each of the households in the Abeokuta South local government. Bolaji Sampson, OGTV News.
Still on palliatives, the federal government has said it will convert 10 million premium motor spirit vehicles to compressed natural gas in the next 36 months. In a statement, the spokesperson for the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Louis Eva, said the Minister of State Petroleum Resources stated this while on a panel tagged Energy Talk at the ongoing ADIPEC 2023 conference and exhibition in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. According to the minister, the initiative was in partnership with the private sector. EPO said key benefits of the initiative include creating over 100,000 jobs for Nigerians, increasing government savings from reduced subsidy payouts for the importation of PMS, reducing carbon emission following the utilization of clean gas to drive internal combustion engines. He reiterated the commitment of the federal government in creating an enabling operational and fiscal environment to support investments in the upstream, midstream and downstream gas sector. According to him, the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is poised to promote business around Nigerians' abundant natural gas resources. The Permanent Secretary, Ogun State Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Oluola Aikulola, has implored researchers to intensify efforts in the management of pests on crops by collaborating with the current administration in the state to showcase the importance of entomology to global development. Dr. Aikulola stated this at a gathering of the Entomological Society of Nigeria, set up with the aim to achieve food and social security through insect science. Margaret Okulola, who was at the campus of Olabisi Onabanjo University at Goiwe, has the details.
Speaking at the 52nd Annual Scientific Conference of Entomological Society of Nigeria, the Permanent Secretary from the State Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Oluola Aikulola, represented by the Director of Industrial Promotion, Engineer Kehinde Akintomide, commended the organizers while charging them to focus more on the challenges that lies in solving global environmental concerns in relation to entomology.
The current administration has put in place a series of concerted efforts at enacting relevant policies, initiatives, programs and interventions to accelerate and cushion the adverse effect of COVID-19 on the state.
The guest speaker, head of Department of Durable Crops Research, Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute, Professor Lateef Sani, represented by Dr. Samson Okunade, delivered a lecture on the theme, The Role of Insects in the World Economy, Post-Pandemic Era, highlighting the role of insects in wealth creation and the significance of insect science in healthy living. Scientists in areas of crop protection with bias for entomology, insects, and other collaborators like hematologists, mycologists, virologists, bacteriologists, weed scientists, among others, drawn from across Nigerian universities, colleges of education, polytechnics, federal and state ministries of health, agriculture, science and technology, environment, as well as agrochemical and allied industries, added their voices to the narrative by calling for refurbishing and reshaping the world economy to bounce back from the effects of COVID-19 pandemic, as well as working hard and collaborating with other relevant societies and government agencies, both locally and internationally. Notable personalities, including Towulade of Akinale, Oba Olufemi Ugunleye, were decorated and presented awards for their track record of selfless dedication and active service to humanity. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
The Federal House of Representatives has directed the National Rural Electrification Agency to restore electricity supply in affected communities in Ogun Waterside local government area of Ogun State. This was sequel to a motion moved by a member representing the area, Honorable Joseph Adigbeso, on the need to restore electricity supply in the local government. Honorable Adigbeso expressed worry that the communities have been in total blackout for almost 2 decades and nothing has been done as intervention by government to help the communities. Speaker of the House Tajuddin Abbas therefore mandated the community on power to investigate the matter as well as ensure the National Rural Electrification Agency restore the communities to the national grid. The committee is expected to report back to the House within 4 weeks.
Affected communities in the Waterside local government area of Ogun State. Mr. Speaker, sir, the whole communities in the Waterside have been in the total blackout for almost 2 decades. You can see what these people, the people in that local government are really facing. According to your instructions, sir, I will go to the prayers. Thank you. Number 1, to urge the committees on power and rural electrification to investigate the matter and direct the National Rural Electrification Agency to restore the community to the national grid. 2, to ensure adequate security and regular patrol is put in place to afford federalization of the facilities when put in place for the people. 3, to mandate the committees on power and rural electrification to ensure strict compliance and report back within 4 weeks. I so moved. Thank you.
The Nigerian Naira is among the worst performing currencies in Africa, the World Bank has said. It noted that the currency weakened by nearly 40% against the US dollar since a mid-June devaluation. The Global Bank explained in its report titled African Pause, an analysis of issues shaping African economic future. It stated that so far this year, the Nigerian Naira and the Angolan Kwanza are among the worst performing currencies in the region. The currencies have posted a year-to-date depreciation of nearly 40%. The weakening of the Naira was triggered by the central bank's decision to remove trading restrictions on the official market for the Kwanza if it was the decision of the central bank to stop defending the currency as a result of low oil prices and great debt payment. The public service functions that broadcasting must serve, which have made professionalism, integrity, and ethical conduct basic requirements, are its distinguishing factors from social media, and the understanding of this would help professionals understand what is required of them. Veteran broadcaster and one of the projectors of the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, Ambassador Yemi Farumbi, who was the guest speaker at the inauguration of the Ogun State chapter of the Society and induction of new members held in Abeokuta, made this assertion in his lecture at the occasion. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
A reunion of some sort as eggheads, veterans, and forebears of the industry gathered for the inauguration of Ogun State chapter of Society of Nigerian Broadcasters and induction of new members. After a pre-induction session for the new members and other broadcasters in attendance, handled by the former Director General of National Broadcasting Commission, Engineer Yomi Bolanriwa, the program commenced with a lecture by veteran broadcaster Ambassador Yemi Farumbi with the theme Broadcasting, Social Media and Information Integrity.
While social media are privately owned and they are not necessarily professional, they can see wherever they are, generate fake news, act like order. We occupy the broad public space using the spectrum that belongs to the people.
Chairman of the occasion and head of service of Ogun State, Mr. Kolawole Fagbohun, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Strategy, Alhaji Wahid Adesina, said the inauguration came at a time the broadcasting industry is faced with fundamental challenges.
And I must actually commend their determination and drive at establishing a society that is showing this kind of commitment towards the upholding of standards in the practice of broadcasting in Nigeria.
National Coordinator of Society of Nigerian Broadcasters and Executive Secretary, Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, Dr. Yemisi Bangoshe, said this is a critical move at consolidating the efforts of yesterday to chart a better course, to chart a better future for broadcasting as a profession.
We are not careful. Those of us in broadcasting will be relegated and boxed out of everything totally. So it is the duty of this society to reposition the profession.
Chairman of Ogun State chapter of Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, which is the first chapter to be inaugurated in the country, Mr. Festus Kehinde, declared that broadcasters are no longer orphans, as members now have a body that will protect their interests.
National Association of Broadcasters in America is an equivalent of SMB, and we are having this working relationship with them so that we can grow the society. We can let us see the outside world. We have to clean the airwaves. That is the basic job of this profession.
There were good messages from the real father of the day, Olowu of Owu, Oba Sakama Temilola, who was decorated as patron of the society, and other guests.
As members of this profession, to please uphold the ethics of your profession.
Very, very fundamental step in making sure that we fight against fake news out there.
The formal inauguration of the state chapter then followed while the new members went forward one after the other to be formally inducted into the society.
It's a veritable platform for productivity and excellence.
The rudiments we went through seems not to be there again, and there is need to bring order.
I'm still also expecting the older ones, those of my generation, those who are even senior to people like me, to come into it.
It will be appropriate for a practitioner or a professional broadcaster to be part of the society.
Good messages from veterans in the broadcasting industry wrapped up the occasion. Matthew Shomi, OGTV News.
And moving on to the foreign scene, Indian authorities are raising against the time to rescue people after flash floods in the northeast state of Sikkim left 102 missing, including 22 army personnel. The state government said 14 people also died after a cloudburst over a lake-triggered massive floods. Officials added that over 3,000 tourists were stranded in different parts of the state. Hundreds of search and rescue officers have been deployed across the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he spoke to Chief Minister Prem Singh on Wednesday and assured him of all possible support. The state's lake breached its embankment after a cloud burst. It led to an alarming rise in water in the Testa River in Lechen Valley. The flood worsened after water was released from a nearby dam into the river. A defense spokesperson said there was a sudden increase in water level up to 15 to 20 feet high downstream. And we round off the news with the words of Mahatma Gandhi. Freedom is never dear at any price. It is the breath of life. What would a man not pay for living? Remember, you can watch us live on all those platforms, Apple, Roku, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or you can send us an email, info@ogtv.com.ng. And that brings us to the end of the news. Many thanks for watching. Good afternoon.